Alright, what's going on, y'all? So you can hear me probably. We are playing in this tool GLGF. Okay, let's see. So yeah, awesome. They have an Arboliva. That's cool. So their team is definitely scary. We do have the wide guard, which is nice because it like pressures them. But we don't really have a Terra that's good for handling the Torkoal too well. So we are gonna have to be like really careful playing around this Torkoal. Let's start the Giraffe and Arcanine. You can start the Giraffe and Arcanine with, Garganacl definitely needs to come in this. And, we do have a Fire Terra Flutter main, so, like, let's be honest. I'm just saying, like, but we're gonna have to be careful. It's the nice thing is that this is actually a best of 3 tour, and of course there's multiple rounds, so even if this doesn't go well, like, it's all good. I like their team. I think the Arboliva is, it's a really good Pokemon. I didn't really get the chance to pilot it super well when I used it in the USPA, but that's fine. We start the Giraffe and the Arcanine. Magic Bounce does not get affected by that, which is nice. I don't know. Let's check what their Terra is. I'm assuming they're just like Ground Terra, right? They have Steel Terra. Jesus. Okay. So what? Maybe I just like click Psychic and click. I could click Will-O-Wisp. I feel like that might be the best thing to do right away. I didn't check what their item is though, because they might have Lumberry. They have Room Service. Okay. They do have Protect though, so I think that their play should always be to just like protect, right? And they don't. Okay. So let's see what they do. They clearly felt very threatened, but I think they should just click Protect. Either they Protect or they Terra, but like, yeah, so they make the safe play, which I think is smart. If I had clicked Hyper Voice, I would have been a little bit more happy with that, but it's fine, we'll take it. But the Hyper Voice would have been nice. So let's Hyper Voice this turn. We could always just Terra Style, but it's not really going to help us that much right now, so let's just do that, and then let's, I don't know. The thing is, like, maybe I just Protect. I don't know. Jeez, oh man, we got that both though. Okay, so let's see, Headlong Rush. Headlong Rush. I don't know what I'm trying to figure out when I say that word. It's a ground move. Okay, so that's what I was really wondering. Just the fact that it's a ground move is really important to know. So I'm gonna just do this, and then I could switch out. I don't really think it's necessary right now. I kind of just want to Flare Blitz the Indeedee. I know they could click like, I haven't even looked at their team sheet. I kind of do that sometimes, but they do have Helping Hand, which, okay. So we'll see what they do. I obviously could have switched out, but Yeah, we live that. So Farigiraf doing a good job just kind of being hard to KO right away. I remember why I didn't bring Corviknight now, but like I'm sitting here kind of like, I mean, Corviknight wouldn't have been bad. But I actually think, well, I don't know, like what Terra would be good? Dragon. That's what I've been thinking. Dragon, Terra, Corviknight. But you just have to deal with things like this hat. Like, we got hats. Should we Schnorl? Should we Schnorl though? Because, I mean, Magic Bounce doesn't get around that, right? If the Indeedee is faster than my Farigiraf, they should... Okay, well they don't, but they should have... They should have probably... Words. They should have probably just gone after my guy if they knew that they were going to be maybe faster with Indeedee, right? Like, because Indeedee could have probably just KO'd the Giraffe before it got damage off. But at this point, I think we bring out Fluttermane pretty safely. We, you know, just click Dazzling Gleam. Should I Terra Style, anticipating that they'll have, you know, things that I don't like in the back? I kind of feel like that could be a bad idea, but I also feel like we're probably not going to Terra Style anything else anymore, so let's just do that. It's kind of just the right thing to do right now. I'll click Dazzling Gleam again, I don't care, and I'll click... yeah, well, we Terra Style, we click Dazzling Gleam, and let's just Flare Whip. Yeah, so they're gonna Dazzling Gleam. They always should. Get some solid damage. So what they should have in the back, right, is like probably Torkoal, I would imagine. And we potentially could have wasted our Terra by doing that, but we probably didn't because, like, technically they can really only have Arboliva or Torkoal in the back, so it's like, where are you really going to get the damage that you need at this point? Like, I feel like we have a pretty safe... Especially because we already lowered the speed, like, we have a pretty safe just Snarl and Dazzling Gleam. Or we lowered their special attacks, sorry. My brain, like, says things because I'm thinking other things, like I'm thinking about speed tiers, but we're talking about stats, so I'm like, we lowered their speed. No, we didn't. Uh-oh. They do get a crit, which is slightly rude, let's be honest. Like, so they're still in this, kind of. Like, I mean, there's a good chance that my Snarl might not actually KO the hat, but we'll have to see. It does. Okay, so that puts us in a pretty good position. Okay, so that's solid. We bring out the guard. Bring out just Gargus things. We Salt Cure them, and we Flare Blitz. I mean, they can't come back from it at this point. Like, if they get a crit Earth Power again, you know, that would do some damage. but it's definitely not winning them the game at this point, I feel like. So the Flare Blitz is also boosted by the sun, so we get some good damage with that. We could protect and do things like that, but I just don't think it's really that necessary at this point. Like, we kind of just, yeah, I mean, they're like figuring out how much damage they do, which is nice, but I've also clicked Snarl, which doesn't really help them gauge, so we take the first game, which is good. I don't know what I want to start this second game though. Like, I feel like if I did have Imprison, that would actually be really good against their team. But I also feel like, I don't know, like, could I actually have just started the Flutter Mane without, like, dealing with the Great Tusk first, you know what I mean? So, it is nice that Corviknight has, like, decent bulk, but I really don't think that Corviknight can be our answer here, like, if that makes sense. If I could get away with them, like, not even bringing Torkoal, that'd be pretty choice, like, because if they didn't bring Torkoal, I think our Corviknight would just run the field over, but, you know, we're gonna have to, like, play really carefully here, and don't get me wrong, like, I kind of want to just bring Corviknight in the beginning and click, like, bulk up, because it could be really good, like, it really could, so I'm just gonna try it, maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll reserve it for game 3, but, like, it's hard to say, because we know, like, a hard adjustment would actually be to our benefit right now. So, I might try starting Arcanine plus this with Garganacl, and I feel like the Farigiraf was actually doing a lot, though. So, like, maybe let's not count that out. So, let's actually try starting that lead again. I think it was a really solid lead. And maybe bring Flutter Mane. Yeah, I mean, like, why? I don't feel like I should do anything there. Like, it was solid, you know, it was really solid. It sucks that we had to think it out that long, but, like, you know, if anything, it's just starting. We could technically, like, we'll have to see what they do. You know, I think these two Pokemon are put up. yo, like, for real, if I had just started Corviknight, that would have been fun. Okay, so they have a Water Tera, which, yeah, is, I mean, a play. So, what do I do here? I feel like I have to just go straight for damage on this, and, like, we don't necessarily have the damage that we need right now, but we can still, like, potentially force them to Terra the Arboliva right away, and things of that nature. So, I mean, this isn't, like, the worst position ever, but it'd be nice if my team had Taunt on it, if that makes sense. So we are forcing them to Terra, which, whatever, you know, that's always what they were gonna do, in my opinion, but it's good for us. It forces them to not be able to do anything later like that. But we click the Flare Blitz. We get... Ooh, that's really bad for them. If they don't have a Citrus Berry or anything... Oh my god! Oh, they live! Oh. No! Dude, that sucks. Like, if they had actually died from that, I think we would just auto-win. But, like, they'll set... What? that makes things a lot harder for them. Because at this point, I bring out the Flutter. Like, if they had just clicked Trick Room there, we would be in a really, really bad position. But because they didn't, I just clicked Snarl and, like, Dazzling Gleam a few times. And we just call that a day. Ooh, that does damage. Okay, we need to think here. Because this is definitely not over, but like, the fact that we forced them to use their tera'd does make a huge difference. And if they can't protect the Arboliva, they can, which makes a big difference for them. So let's see. This is really hard to say what my best play is because, like, we do need to mitigate damage here, but I think at this point there's a really good chance that we can just, like, do this. Yeah, so I was a little bit afraid of that, but I still think I made the right play. They click Heat Wave, they do get a KO on the Flutter Mane, but at this point I just don't know if they win, you know what I mean? Like, I think we do have to go for the Flare Blitz again. No, I think we need to get rid of the Arboliva right, or I mean the Torkoal right now. And we need to Terra Style and Salt Cure. Like, this could definitely become a problem, but I'm trying to, like, play it as well as I can. I think the main thing we have going for us is the fact that, like, there's a really good chance that my Arcanine is faster than what's his face, right? So, like, next turn is really risky because I'm not 100% sure what my best play is. But what I might want to do next turn is click Protect with Arcanine and then Salt Cure the Arboliva, right? There's really no guarantee that that works because there's definitely, like, things that they could do to try to get around it, I guess. But really, they have Heavy Slam, Headlong Rush, and Brick Break. So, like, they don't have good damage into Gargantuar right now. They do protect Arboliva, though, which I think is the right thing to do in this situation. So, like, you gotta admit that they're doing the right thing, right? Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. So, I don't know if the grass... Oh, the grass goes away. Okay. So this is still a little bit sketchy. I think we obviously do have to do the Will-O-Wisp, and we have to do the Salt Cure, but, like, I just don't know the speed tiers. We get the Will-O-Wisp, so that should ensure the game. I hope. I hope. The Headlong Rush does get the KO, which is scary. But next turn we just protect, and then, you know, we just kind of Salt Cure and recover over and over. They don't have Strength stacked, if I'm correct, so they will click Energy Ball. It'll do some damage. That does a lot more than I wanted it to, honestly. Like, it's a darn good thing that I have, the moves. So Salt Cure does get the KO, which is good. And I think the fact that we had the faster Arcanine than the Great Tusk is what should win us this game, you know, but I mean, I'm gonna protect, right? Like, you always protect here if you're me. Sorry, I'm assuming you guys haven't been able to hear my TV, but, like, it's just golf, you know? It's just golf. So we're probably going to take this first one, which is good, you know, pretty clean 2-0. Okay, so we're not really taking damage here. Get the Salt Cure off. And now we just click... I mean, I'm gonna protect first, but then I click recover a bunch of times. So, I mean, I think if their team had had some different movesets, this would have been a little scarier. And, I mean, sure, like, there's different plays that could have been made that would have made it even harder for me, right? But ultimately, I mean, it worked out, right? Like, even if they did set up the Trick Room instead of clicking Foul Play, that it wouldn't have been, like, the easiest for them because they still have to pivot in the Torkoal. And, I mean, Farigiraf is, like, not bad in Trick Room, it's really not. So, you gotta keep things like that in mind. I also do have a pretty bulky Farigiraf, which we can afford because we have Throat Spray, so that's nice. So we click recover. A crit would actually have been scary there, so like it is important that we get this recover. But now that we have the recover, we pretty much just win, so yeah, GG's. It's a war of attrition at this point, but you know, Great Tusk can't beat the Ghost Tera'd. The Steel Tera'd Tusk, I think, would have been a little bit scary for my team at some point, but yeah. Alright, so we are going to a game 3. That is what the judges decided was the most fair, I suppose, which I get, right? Like, you know, I think that makes sense. But I'm just having a hard time deciding what I want to do in the first game. Or I mean, in the beginning here. Like, I kind of want to actually just start this and this, and then I want to, like, bring this in the back. And, it's hard to say. I actually might benefit from... We know they have foul play, which I guess is the one thing that makes it a problem, right? Like, they have, yeah, like foul play and things like that. So, what I'm actually kind of considering doing is starting Garg and the Gallant with Arcanine and Flut in the back. I mean, I know it's really passive. It's basically giving them Trick Room, right? But I think depending on how this goes, there's not really anything they can do about it, which is good for me. So, we're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to definitely see. I need to think about what my best last is in that case. I like Fluttermane, I just don't know if it's, like, perfect. I like the fact that it has Sash, because that means it can come in a pinch, and it can do the things I need it to do, but we're gonna have to see. Like, technically switching it up could be bad for me, but they've also had enough time to, like, plan, you know, if that makes sense. So, we've got a 15 minutes of round left, and it'll probably go quickly. So they do start Arboliva or Oranguru, which I'm perfectly fine with. I start Garg and the Gallant, which the one bad thing about this is that it doesn't really, like, it kind of forces me to Terra, actually, right? Which I'm fine with, honestly. What I want to click is Bulk Up and maybe just switch into the Arcanine right away. So, you know, it's fine. We'll have to see. I mean, this is why Arcanine Corviknight was a better lead, because it forces them to Terra again. Right? Which, I think I probably would have just gone after the Arboliva this time, you know? But they're just gonna Protect and Trick Room, probably. Okay, so what I want to do here is I want to Brave Bird the Arboliva slot and just switch right back in the Garg, I think. Because that's the only way that I think I can ensure this win. The only thing they could do that would be bad is actually, yeah, so... So we take that. We know they Terra, that just, you know, it just makes sense inherently. But at this point, I think I just need to really focus on the Torkoal, so... We get some really good damage. We know the Arboliva can't heal itself though, which is really good for me. And we also know that if I just click Wide Guard, I Terra Style, I click Wide Guard, and I start doing damage on Torkoal probably. So yeah, we do this, we Terra Style, and we click Wide Guard. So, like, if I didn't switch in guard there, there's a really good chance we would have lost. But because we have this kind of like combination, it's just going to be really hard for them to get around us. They do click Energy Ball, which is smart. It does a lot. So I think I need to think here, because they might actually end up taking out my guard, right? Which would be really bad for me. So we click Bulk Up. The Trick Room is up, right? Yeah, Trick Room is up. So I think we have the Brave Bird here. And, I mean, like, I want to just protect, but I know it could be a really bad play, right? Like, what do I do? Because, like, we really do kind of have to just do this. Okay. We don't live, which I was a little bit worried about. But ultimately I think we're not in, like, the worst position. Let's be honest, I mean, getting that KO is really big for them. And I don't know if I can afford to actually let my bird go down. So the problem is that they do have, like, they can just click Instruct next turn, right? Yeah. So what we might have to do, I think, is we just let our boy go down. You know, we really can't do anything about it, honestly. They haven't used their Terra style though yet, right? Which could definitely be bad for me. I think if I wanted to ensure this win, I probably would have I would have had to Brave Bird the Torkoal last turn to stop them from getting that free switching. So it's fine, it's a little bit unfortunate. What we're probably going to have to do is just click Protect, right? Like, we click Protect. Yeah. Interesting. Did I click Brave Bird or did I click Roost? Click Roost, so that's kind of good. It does leave the question of what do I do next turn, though. I mean, I definitely have the Brave Bird and just, like, Flare Blitz. But we're definitely not in a terrible position anymore. The Eruption probably will get the KO, which is the one unfortunate thing. But, like, we're gonna have to see what they do. You can tell that they definitely want to KO the Arcanine, which I totally understand. So this should KO. Yeah, KOs. So let's see what they have in the back. It's definitely not Arboliva, right? Like, so they should have the Headlong Rush Boy. The Sunlight Fades, which is good for me. I think as long as we... This is actually kind of hard. Because they do bring out the Tusk, but they've seen that I'm, like, avoiding the what's-his-name, right? So, like, technically, I think my play here is to just Flare Blitz and Dazzling Gleam and hope that that can kind of help. But we know that they can only single target with the Great Tusk, right? So, like... This is such a hard decision. Yeah. So I made the wrong play. I don't know how much they will do here. They do get the KO. So there's a really good chance that they just win. And I'm not like ultra stokage about that. But what we can do is just click Shadow Ball and hope that they, I don't know, make a bad play. I mean, we're not in a good position here, and that's what's unfortunate about it. That's so annoying, like, because we literally could have just, like, made better plays.